Hey everyone, my name's Lily and welcome to my August TBR. I want to talk first about the books that I've already published that I want to read in August. There are a few of them. The first one is Simone Breaks All the Rules. This is very shiny cover. I'm really excited for this one because I actually saw it on shelves and I was really intrigued by it. I didn't have time to look at it, and then later on I had gotten an email in my inbox that had said if I wanted to review this one. So they sent me an ARC, Scholastic sent me an ARC, and I'm really excited to dive into this one in August. The next one is Where It All Lands. Wednesday Books actually sent this to me, and it was one of these happy coincidences where one of the comp titles I used was Sliding Doors, which is a movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, kind of like about parallel what would happen if kind of scenarios, and I had just watched this I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks before I got this in the mail. So it was actually one of those, wait, I know this movie, which I never would have known 2 weeks before. So now I'm just even more excited to read it just because I already kind of was a sort of serendipitous connection, I guess. And so I'm excited for this one. And the next one are book club picks. So for my IRL book club, we're reading The Boy at the Back of the Class. I'm excited because this is one of the first book club picks I didn't come up with. Normally I'm the one who's like, what books do you want to read? And everyone doesn't really know, and so I have to bring it up. But this one someone else brought up, so I know nothing about it. I do know that I think it's a middle grade or YA, so it's not an adult book. Normally we've tried to read adult books. But either way, I'm very excited for this one because I didn't have to pick it. And the next one will be the Backlist Bookworms pick. I don't know it yet because we haven't had our July chat. Our July chat is very late. And because we haven't had our July chat, we haven't really even talked about suggestions for August. So would I love it to be one of these books that I haven't read? Yes. Will it be? Who knows, really. For context, for July, we ended up reading Hurricane Child. So I was very excited to read that one. And then the next one is the audiobook I'm still currently listening to. I've been listening to this audiobook basically for all of July. It's not that I'm not into it. For reference, it's The Gilded Serpent. It's just that, it is so long. I didn't realize, but I was like, oh, I've been listening to it for a while. Let's see how far I have left to go. I have 11 hours. I feel like some of the audiobooks that I'm reading are basically 11 hours. And so I've been reading, a good portion of it in all of July, and I'm not done. I don't even think I'm halfway done. So, hopefully I'll finish that in August. It's kind of holding up all of these other audiobooks I want to listen to, just because I've stopped having as much time where I'm listening to audiobooks. So I hope in August I can pick up a little bit more steam and finish that one, and hopefully also listen to a different audiobook. The next 3 are ones that I have for blog tours. The first one is The Breath Between Waves. This is a sapphic, Titanic historical fiction romance novel. That's all I really needed to know. I am just so excited for it. It's also a book where I've read other things by that author, so I'm excited for that for another reason. The other one is The Jasmine Project. This features an adopted main character, which is just like everything I really want in my life. I'm really excited that I'm now on a blog tour for that one because, I will support all adoption stuff. And the final one for blog tour is Enola Holmes. This is actually the full title, the cover will be here. This is actually the latest kind of Enola Holmes book after the Netflix show. I'd never read the Enola Holmes books before the Netflix show, but I love the Netflix show. It was just like one of those happy kind of movies that make me happy, and I want to rewatch them. That is how I felt about Enola Holmes. I felt like that about a bunch of Netflix things that are a little bit more intense, but Enola Holmes is certainly like the happiest kind of comfort rewatch thing that I've watched. I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times maybe. So I'm very excited to be on that blog tour project, and I'm very excited to kind of dive into that world, especially since it's gotten so much publicity with the Netflix show. The next one, I am buddy reading 2 books, hopefully, fingers crossed, in August. The first one is A Clash of Steel, and I'm buddy reading this with Shenwei. This is so exciting for me because I love C.B. Lee's books. I'm very intrigued in Treasure Island. So C.B. Lee, Treasure Island, and also it's part of this remixed classics series that Macmillan is doing now, which has some fantastic other ones. Like the other one is Bethany C. Morrow is doing Little Women, and I think that there's a Robin Hood one coming too. I think I may have seen that in Analyze, but don't quote me on that one. Anyway, I'm just really excited for this remixed classic series, and the fact that it's starting off with Bethany C. Morrow and C.B. Lee is just like everything I could want in the world. So I'm very excited to be buddy reading that one. The next one I am buddy reading is Iron Widow with Hannah. I will leave, obviously, everyone's links below and the books below. But I've been wanting to read Iron Widow ever since I got it on NetGalley, and I just haven't been able to like push aside enough books. I'm really behind on my TBR. Like normally I feel like my TBRs are books that release in the next month. You haven't read or you haven't heard the rest of the books on the list, but they're all really releasing in August. Like I am so behind. I don't even know actually if I'll catch up, because September, October, November, they are all incredibly heavy arc months, and I don't think I will catch up actually. I was kind of hoping that in July I would, but I have not. So, you know, I'll just tell you which ones they are. So the first is The Sisters of Reckoning. This is a sequel to The Good Luck Girls, I'm pretty sure. They got all new covers as well, so that's kind of why I'm struggling to think of it in my mind. I really loved The Good Luck Girls. I thought it was super fun. It's like this post-apocalyptic western, all BIPOC cast, like I think also queer cast too. Maybe not all of them, but you know, some of them. And I'm just really excited to read the sequel. I remember being just like so swept away by the first one that I'm excited to kind of dive back into it. And speaking of other sequels, I actually have 4 other sequels on my TBR. It's like a sequel heavy month. The next one is Redemptor. This is the sequel to Ray Bear. I'm really excited because when I read Ray Bear, I pretty much was like, oh, there'll be a sequel. And then I was telling that to a bunch of people, and they were kind of like, there's no sequel to that. And I was thinking, no, there has to be. Like, there has to be. But now that there's a cover, a release date, everything like that, I'm just like, yes, I said it, and it is. So I really liked Ray Bear because it was something where I never really knew what was going to happen. I felt like I was thinking, oh, you know, this is going to be the plot structure, and then it will end. But then it's like, wait, but there's more of the book left. So it was something where I never really knew where it was going to end, and then it did end, and I was kind of like, well, I need book 2. So I'm really excited for that one. I was like emailing, I think I emailed Amulet at the end and was kind of like, well, when is the sequel coming out? And then the next one is another sequel. It's Cazadora. This is a sequel to La Bizzona, which is another book where I didn't know what was happening. It wasn't that I didn't know what was happening, but it's like, from the cover and everything I'd heard about it, it was saying it was going to talk a lot about immigration and magic. And yes, it talks a lot about immigration and magic, but it also has a magical school and soccer, and also discussions about gender stereotypes. Like, it has all of that all in one. And so it's not that I didn't know where it was going, but it's kind of like, oh, I thought that this was what it was like. And then it's like, no, it's all about all of the other things. And so I'm just really excited for Cazadora. And the last, oh wait, I have 2 more sequels. The next sequel I'm excited for is The Devil in the Device, or The Devil in Device. I'm not actually sure if there's a "the" in there. It's a sequel to Goddess in the Machine. Goddess in the Machine just swept me away. I have been loving the YA sci-fi I've been reading lately. By lately I mean in 2020 and 2021. Loving it so much. And so I was so excited that I was able to get an early copy of The Devil in the Device, because I felt like Goddess in the Machine was just this perfect combination between a really fantastic, intriguing, unique world and very good developed characters. And it was also something where in Goddess in the Machine, I was pretty much sure I was going to love the main character, but I actually ended up loving a different character. Not instead, but like, it swept me away. They swept me away. I don't want to give it any secrets about who. I think maybe in the review I say, obviously I'll link all the reviews of the first books in these series down below. And the last sequel is Paula Santiago and the Force of Nightmares. I read Paula Santiago and the River of Tears, I think that's what it's called. This is the sequel cover. And I just loved it. I loved all of this author's other works. I thought that the books were on the ground. We Set the Dark on Fire, one of my absolute favorites. And so I just remember being just so happy about Paula Santiago. It is also a STEM main character. There's also kind of a really great core friendship, and I loved that Paula Santiago talked about also this clash between like what the character believes and what the character's mother believes as well. I thought that was also fabulous. Just in general, I love that book. I've been reading, I feel like I haven't read a middle grade basically in the last 2 years where I haven't liked it. I felt like middle grade has become just such a happy, loving place for me, and I really loved adding Paula Santiago to that list. And finally, the last book, or the last arc, which is the only one that's not a sequel, is Velvet Was the Night. I don't know anything really about this. I loved Mexican Gothic, and so Silvia Moreno Garcia's books have been getting new covers, and because of that they've been showing up again on kind of book blogging, like on publishers' radar and NetGalley's radar. So publishers have been sending emails about it. And I feel like I got so many emails which were like, oh, we saw that you really loved Mexican Gothic. Did you know that Velvet Was the Night's coming out? So I think they're all getting new covers, and I think Velvet Was the Night is the next one. I think there are other ones getting new covers too. I could be completely wrong. Oh, Certain Dark Things I think is also getting a new cover. I thought they were new books, but they're actually new covers. So I'm really excited for that one. I don't really know what to expect because Mexican Gothic was not a new cover. That was just the new book. And because these ones I think are reissues with new covers, I'm not sure, you know, am I going to like the writing? Is it going to change? Am I going to see evolution? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know really how to feel about that. But I'm just excited because the covers are all really gorgeous. And now I'm kind of intrigued because I've read Gods of Jade of Shadow and I read The Beautiful Ones, and I've had varying feelings about all three of those books. I would say that Mexican Gothic is my favorite, and The Beautiful Ones is certainly my next favorite, and well, I don't know. Okay, it's really difficult. I can't rate them. After I read Certain Dark Things and Velvet Was the Night, then I will rate all of them for you. And maybe do a video if anyone wants to know. Let me know below if you want a video of that. But yeah, I'm just really intrigued by Velvet Was the Night. So hopefully I get to all these books because it is a much bigger TBR than I normally make. Well, no. I normally keep it to, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's a bigger TBR than normal, but I don't know. That's just a guess. So anyway, I'm really excited to read these. Kind of just pleased that I'm so far behind, but you know, I have to make peace with that because that's how it's gonna feel for September, October, November, and probably also December. That's just how I'm gonna feel for the rest of my life, essentially. Anyway, I hope to see you in the next video, and let me know below what are some of books on your TBR, or also I'd love to know also what books you wanted to read in July but didn't read, so now are going to read in August. I just want to know. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye!